Well, we need someone in the middle on the fourth line to kind of grab hold of the role. So the door is open and there's opportunities there. And I think for him that was kind of the message. So don't overthink it. Just come and play and use your size to your advantage, use your speed to your advantage, and be a hard guy to play against. So he's done a good job, like the other guys that we brought up from the Wranglers, to earn the opportunity. And I hope that they all look at it as there's chance. If we do what they need us to do down here, there's an opportunity that may come later on. So it's good. Trent and his staff have done a good job of preparing players, and now we want them to grab the opportunity.
What do you make of Cole's defensive instincts? He seems like a player who seems to know that him being a defensive forward is his future in the NHL.
Yeah, I think that's part of how we envision him. I mean, he's got a skill set too that you can't overlook. Like, he's a big guy that shoots the puck well, he skates well. But where we kind of envision him slotting is in one of those roles where whether it's fourth, third, or some sort of role where you're going to be relied upon to play against good players, and to make sure you do a good job for our team. So he's trending in that direction, and this is his opportunity.
Do you find you have to teach a little bit more when you've got a lineup that's, I think, a quarter of them are going to be rookies tonight? Do you find on the bench you have to teach a little bit more?
I think you have to be careful with that, because sometimes when you teach too much, they overthink. So you try to do as much as you can with that prior to. So Cole sat with Cale earlier this morning, just a few reminders for him, and then you let him go. So he's not overthinking. We just want him to play the game.
How does it feel? We all know how last year there was a lot of reliance on older players compared to this year, where it seems that almost every opportunity this organization is trying to infuse some kind of younger talent. What's it like kind of seeing the difference between last year and this year with the roster structural changes?
I don't know if there's much different. I think when you have an older group and you're looking to fill holes with those guys, I think you trust their maturity a little bit more in certain situations in a game. The younger guys, at times, there might be the odd mistake that they may make that you would not expect an older player to make. So right now we're trying to use some of these guys to see how they do and if they're ready for more, and then we're able to continue to build from there.
Ryan, Pospisil and Coronado are obviously different types of players. Does the style that line play with Martin there as opposed to Matt there have to change, or do you want the same sort of game from them?
Well, he's not going to be Marty at all, so there will be a little difference in the way that line plays. I mean, when you looked at the way Posp is on that line, he's very much the driver of that line, and he has a way of pulling his two line mates into a game, so that's not there. What Matty does is really work when he's on the ice, so it's important for those three guys to be around each other and use their skill set by making the short little plays to try to help them keep the puck more in the offensive zone. And they have a big challenge today. This is a big team we're facing, and if you look at that line, it's not one of our bigger lines, but they have the ability to make plays. They have the ability to skate, and that's what we're expecting out of them tonight.
How important has the consistent goaltending been for your group this season? It seems like both guys have elevated their game of late, and now Markstrom seems like he's coming back in, but that position for you.
Yeah, they've been excellent. They really have, both guys. I mean, there's always stretches where someone might have a couple bad games in a row, but you can't really say that much about these two guys this year. Jacob elevated his play to another level recently, and I think whether it put pressure on Vladdy, I don't know, but he looked at it like, I have to elevate mine too. So that competition between the two of them is excellent, and I think they're feeding off of each other right now.
Right. I think you were asked about Cole Schwinn before I snuck in a little bit late. Just kind of specifically on him, he starts the season in the AHL on a line with Zary and Pospisil, and then suddenly they're both up and having success. I'm curious, in your experience as a coach at that level, what's it like for the guy who's left there in terms of what kind of happens next to join his buddies at the next level?
Yeah, we had Jankowski, Mangiapane, and Hathaway one year, and they all sort of at different times found their way up to the NHL, so it's no different. I think the biggest thing that it does is create the belief that, hey, I might have an opportunity. And oftentimes when a player sees their line mates get chances, it makes them dig in a little bit more. So I think they realize that they're not that far away, and it gives them a little extra boost or motivation.